In a quiet village surrounded by tall palm trees, there lived a palm wine tapper named Obiora. He was known far and wide for his kind heart and the freshest, sweetest palm wine. People from other villages would come just to taste his wine and enjoy his warm company. Obiora's smile made everyone's day brighter, but behind that smile was a man carrying a heavy burden. Obiora was married to Ngozi, a woman who was as beautiful as the moon and strong as a lion. Her plus-size figure and bold nature turned heads wherever she went. At first, Obiora had been proud of her confidence and beauty, but as time passed, things began to change. Whenever they argued, Ngozi would not stop at words. She would beat Obiora, and she didn't care who was watching. Villagers would often see Obiora running through the streets, shielding himself from her slaps and punches. One day, she attempted to throw him into the well, but Obiora's loud screams for help became his saving grace. "Why don't you send her back to her family?" his friends would ask. But Obiora would shake his head. "She is my wife. I promise to take care of her." Ngozi was not just aggressive, she was also unfaithful. She would openly flirt with men in the village, and even answer calls from her lovers right in front of Obiora. He would sit quietly, his heart breaking, but he never said a word. One fateful day, Obiora was returning from the palm trees when he saw Ngozi with another man. They were laughing and whispering, their faces close together. Obiora froze, unable to believe what he was seeing. His heart felt like it had been pierced by 1,000 needles. That evening, Obiora sat alone in his kitchen, his mind racing. He felt trapped, ashamed, and powerless. "I cannot live like this anymore," he whispered to himself. Then, in a moment of desperation, he grabbed a knife, heated it over the fire, and did something unimaginable. He plucked out his own eyes. "If I cannot see her betray me, my heart will finally find peace," he said, tears streaming down his face. From that day on, Obiora became blind. But even in darkness, he continued to tap his palm wine and serve the villagers. Ngozi, seeing her husband's blindness, didn't change her ways. She thought he would never know about her affairs and continued living as she pleased. But one day, while fetching water from the stream, Ngozi slipped on a wet rock and hit her head. Villagers rushed to help her, but it was too late. Ngozi was gone. When the news reached Obiora, he was silent. The villagers worried about how he would survive without her. "What will he do now?" they whispered. But Obiora surprised them all. He continued his work, tapping wine and serving the village. "She may not have been a perfect wife," he said one day, "but I loved her, and I will honor her memory by living with kindness." A lesson for all. Over time, Obiora's story spread beyond the village. People came not just for his palm wine, but also for his wisdom. He would tell them, kindness is not weakness. Forgiveness is not foolishness.